It's been 100 days since my family and I packed up our house in the suburbs and moved to our new 9.5 acre homestead in the woods. This land has been my dream for more than 2 decades, and I still can't believe it's finally happened. I've dreamed about having enough land for a huge garden and all the animals for so long that it has basically become a full-time personality trait. It took years to find the right property, and in the end, we didn't get what I thought I was looking for. We got so much more. This property includes several outbuildings, a greenhouse, a shed, and multiple animal shelters. The previous owners had fenced off 3 pastures for horses, a donkey, pigs, bees, chickens, ducks, and several goats. The day we moved in, we expected to find a pig and 2 goats, the ones that we'd agreed to keep. Instead, hey y'all, welcome to my new house. I thought I'd show you what we got ourselves into, and some of it was on accident because we didn't expect, and they're coming back for extra animals. So this is Churro. Oh wait. Hey Churro. And then we got my goats and her goats. So the little guys are, this is Poppy and Petunia, and then those are her goats. And I don't know, Gary's somewhere. I'm not one to say no to animals, so we figured we'd roll with it until the previous owners came back to retrieve them. Hey you guys, you hungry? I'm gonna figure out how to feed you. We had one perfect, peaceful hour before the moving truck arrived and started to unload our things. From inside the house, I heard a huge metal crash and looked outside to see Gary, all 600 pounds of him, literally walking over the gate, which was now flat on the ground. It took several people, including the movers, and a huge amount of peaches to get him back in. But then he did it again, taking an even longer walk down the driveway, requiring the neighbors to come rescue us. And I started to freak out. A full-size, 600-pound escape artist with an attitude is our first farm animal, maybe a bit more than we had bargained for. The next days were a blur. The fence gate was secured, but the electric fence failed. We got the electric fence working, but the cobbled together system of extension cords and loose electric fence lines weren't keeping the animals in. We tried our best to care for this unexpected crew of animals, but we were in way over our heads. Urgent texts went out, both to my realtor and to my friend Morgan, an experienced farmer who I knew from back home, but lives pretty close to the new house. From Morgan, we learned that the fencing would likely never hold this combination of animals. And from my realtor, we got repeated assurances that these animals had never, ever, ever gotten out before. Okay. I convinced my friend Morgan to come on Monday, and so she's going to take a look around and tell us what we need to fix. Any other like glaring problems that might let Gary out again. I saw Gary this morning to feed him, and then he's just been out on his own. I definitely think he's having a moment. He's mad, and I get it, but
Of all the things that I thought that I was going to be working on, it was not make the pig like me. But that is, in fact, what I'm doing.
So after some of the most stressful days I can remember, we asked that the previous owners come back for all the animals, even the ones that we had initially planned on keeping, as soon as possible. Now that that drama was taken care of, I could get to all of the things that I wanted to accomplish this fall. To say that I hit the ground running is an understatement. In the months leading up to our move, I dug up and prepared dozens of plants to move with us. I brought everything from houseplants to half a dozen blueberry bushes, to an apple tree, to rose bushes, comfrey, lemon balm. You name it, I packed it. I took everything that I could find, and it took 3 full trips. I started weeding the first day, moving overgrown grass from raised beds to mulch existing perennials. Things really kicked into high gear when we got our first chip drop, which I used to start mulching the garden beds and cover half of an old horse pasture that will become a sunflower field. I mainly used it to start learning how to use the tractor. We had several dead and damaged trees removed to make room for a new backyard fence for the dogs. Those trees were chipped and dropped at the entrance of the garden. I started by laying down cardboard to kill off the existing grass and weeds, followed by a combination of materials: leaf litter, horse manure, leftover pig and goat bedding, shredded cardboard. All came from the property, and 40-ish pounds of rabbit manure came from my friend Morgan's farm. And then I mulched and mulched and mulched some more.
Today I'm trying
In
to figure out
addition
if
to
there's
the
a source
animal
of water
fencing
anywhere
being
near the garden. It
not
doesn't seem like there
effective,
is,
we arrived at the farm to
which
a
is a
drought.
bummer because there's a
The
lot of
existing
plants
water
that need
situation
water.
is, well, not great. 300 feet of hose has to be run from the house to the garden, uphill, to access water in the garden. We arrived at the end of August, full heat of summer bearing down, with all of these amazing but somewhat neglected perennials. I immediately set out to learn how to run drip irrigation, which I did. It's a lot like kids building toys, but still the water pressure was pathetic. Fall pressed on, and anytime I had extra energy and it wasn't blazing hot, I was planting and mulching, feeling the pressure that winter would come and not wanting anything left undone. Slowly but surely, I got it done. I also did some slightly questionable things, like ordering 100 more flower bulbs to celebrate finishing the first batch of flower and garlic bulbs. Before I knew it, the leaves were falling and the weather was turning. Our first full season here on the farm is ending, making way for winter with its own set of goals and vibes.